We all know the well-known pizza delivery brands, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. We love them. I order pizza from there all the time. But their drivers unfortunately cause wrecks on the road. And when those wrecks happen, the cases against them are very different than your standard car wreck case. And here's why. Number one, there's separate claims against the driver who caused the wreck and also the company. They have their own insurances and they have their own insurance and they have their own lawyers, two different cases. And these cases are ones that the companies like to get resolved early to avoid really the digging into the discovery process about some of the backgrounds of these drivers and some of the company policies. You really want to avoid the temptation to just resolve these cases too early without really digging into some background. And so we always, absent really unique circumstances, will be filing lawsuits in these situations. And there's a few reasons why. Number one, before a company can put its driver out on the road, there's some pretty heavy background checks they need to do, some screening, make sure that person is properly qualified and properly trained to do this job, make sure they take the tests, make sure they go through all the training materials. And oftentimes that just doesn't happen. Stores are busy, they're short-staffed, deliveries have to be made, and so they cut those corners. Number two, these vehicles are equipped with very high-tech GPS systems that monitor speed, stopping, starting, routes, how they're taking corners. And so you can get that information and find out, well, what is this driver doing? What is his usual habits of how he drives the vehicle or she? And that's very helpful. Lastly, it allows the deposition of a corporate representative to be taken, basically sitting down with someone on behalf of the company and asking that person questions. On the one hand, they always want to talk about how great the policies and procedures are, and frankly, they do have good policies and procedures. But on the other hand, they're forced to make concessions that their driver did not live up to those policies. And so, it puts them in a tough situation where there are no good answers. At the end of the day, these companies hire great lawyers, smart lawyers. We like working with them. And once all this discovery is had, these lawyers recognize that, generally they don't want their company's name associated with a big verdict. We all know these companies, and the last thing they want is for a big verdict to be on the paper against them. And so these cases, typically will get resolved without, the actual trial happening. So if you ever find yourself involved in a wreck with a pizza delivery company, really any delivery company, please give us a call because we've got some great experience with them. We know how to go about them and we'll get you a very good result.